Is WWP becoming the laughing stock of the crumb side? Let's talk about this. Welcome back to another video from yours truly, Levon Kaysen. Today I'm going to be discussing, is WeaponWheelPodcast the laughing stock of the crumb side? And before I get to this topic, I am going to say this. I don't have a problem with any of the members of the Weapon Wheel Podcast. I don't have a problem with Kid Smooth. I don't have a problem with Jimmy B Gaming. I don't have a problem with Black Bond. I don't have a problem with Broken Games HD. I don't have a problem with the Tony guy, even though that Tony guy does make the podcast cringy. Nothing more, nothing less. But I don't have any problems with him. And I don't have a problem with that Visions guy. I don't. So, yeah, let me get on to the topic. And what made me want to make this video is based on what I've been observing. You know, ever since Hard 8 left and seeing the comment sections of Weapon Wheel Podcast and, you know, being in certain Discord servers and stuff like that, you know, people talking about Weapon Wheel. It seems like to me that there are a lot of WWP loyalists, you know, that'll, you know, stay regardless of Hard 8 or not. You know, they're going to stay regardless, you know. They are really fans of those guys. So, yeah. And also, too, you know, the people that left because Hard 8 got kicked out of the podcast, you know, they've moved on to Any Given Sunday podcast. So, yeah. And there's also a decent amount of people still to where they want Hard 8 back on Weapon Wheel Podcast. And also, I have noticed people, you know, making troll videos of Weapon Wheel cast members. So, there's people that'll stay loyal and stick with Weapon Wheel Podcast, and there's also a lot of people, not all, but a decent amount of people think that Weapon Wheel Podcast is a freaking joke. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, based on the things that they have said on Twitter, you know, the cast members, you know, and the people in certain Discord servers are like, this is ridiculous. What are they thinking? Are they stupid? Are they retarded? These are the type of bums that run the crumb side, really? These guys, really? You know, and this is not me saying that. This is what I have heard from, you know, being in certain Discord servers. You know, people in those Discord servers talk about Weapon Wheel. And they are saying, look at this. These guys are a joke. These nerds are a joke. These guys are bums. They should get jobs. And, you know, that's what I've been hearing. That is what I've been hearing. So, it made me think that a lot of people think that Weapon Wheel Podcast is the laughing stock of the crumb side. Nothing more, nothing less. They see Weapon Wheel as a freaking joke. They don't really watch the podcast. They lost faith in the podcast. They don't care about the podcast. So, do I think Weapon Wheel is the laughing stock of the crumb side? No, I don't think so, really. I don't, but a lot of people do. I will say that a lot of people do think that they don't see it anything special anymore. They really, really don't. And I've heard from people say if they were going to be a professional gaming podcast, they should have started out as a professional gaming podcast instead of just, doing buffoonery, in the Weapon Wheel podcast. And now they want to be all professional and all that stuff. And I'm wondering how many views did a lot of people watch that what was that Dying Light game developer that BG had on for an interview? That was not bad. That wasn't awful. It was decent. But anyways, a lot of people at this point see Weapon Wheel as a joke. And I will also say this again. People see Weapon Wheel as the laughing stock of the crumb side. So, yeah. What do you guys think? This was just a discussion. This was just my observation from what I've seen from Discord servers, comment sections, Heart 8 now not being on Weapon Wheel Podcast. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Weapon Wheel Podcast is the laughing stock of the crumb side? Yes or no? Tell me why. Let me know in the comment section below of this video. See you guys later, and peace.